Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening. I went and got that new Maybach. I stayed grinding. They told me bust out my AP. What's up, everybody? Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Coach Don. Welcome back to Coach Don Reacts. I am Coach Don. Today we talking about the first round of the NFL draft. I'm gonna try to get through that so I can get outside. And we gotta talk about Shedeur. You know, it's been a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about why Shedeur didn't get drafted in the first round, why he should have, why he shouldn't have, and I think it's a lot of politicking going on, and people don't like his dad, and people trying to humble his dad through him and humble him also, which is ignorant to me, because you got a kid that he don't get in trouble. He don't get in trouble with the law. He never been arrested. He never do anything. All he do is feel confident about himself. And if you look up the word humble, if somebody telling you to be humble, that most of the time that's them telling you to not be as confident and not believe in yourself as much as you do. You know, the word humble, if people look at a dictionary, it don't have nothing. It's not made to be have a negative connotation behind it. But it just, America has made the word humble or not being humble be positive. And I mean, being humble be positive, not being humble be negative, you know, but that's not how it was created. You know, you got Shedeur Sanders. I believe he top 5 in passing yards. He top in touchdowns. One of the top players in accuracy. And he playing on a team that has no, outside of himself and Travis Hunter, they have no players projected to go before round 4, you know. I have Jimmy Horn Jr., he might be, you know, right at the echelon of round 4, round 3, round 4 and beyond. But other than that, he don't. Like, he have a team that was overinflated just because he was there, his dad was there, Travis Hunter was there. Like, it made it seem like it was way better than what it was. But you got to give a kid credit for playing the way he did. And no quarterback in the FBS got hit like he did. The man was running for his life the whole game, every game, and he still put up those type of numbers. You know, and the NFL want their black quarterbacks to be Lamar Jackson. When I say Lamar Jackson, they want them to have a lot of athleticism, and you don't need that to play quarterback. You don't need that to navigate the pocket. You don't need that to get outside the pocket. You don't need to be a runner 4-3 to navigate the pocket. A lot of the quarterbacks over the years, there's been the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, Brett Favre, Troy Aikman. A lot of those guys, they didn't have blazing speed, but they hardly ever got sacked because, one, they got the ball out quick, and 2, they knew how to navigate the pocket, move up, move back, move side, move left, move right. They knew when to get outside the pocket. You know, when the pocket has broke down, they anticipated those things. So you don't need to have blazing speed to be a top quarterback, top black quarterback in the NFL. You don't need it. Patrick Mahomes is not. He's fast enough to get a first down. That's all you really need. Are you fast enough to get that 3rd and 7 and the pocket break down and nobody's open? Are you fast enough to get that 7 yards? That's all you need. You don't need to get 25 and all that. That's a rarity. You get a quarterback that can get you 25 yards, you know, easily. It just they come dime a dozen. You know, and I had no problem with Cam Ward going number 1, all because he deserved to go number 1. In my opinion, him and Shedeur was the top 2 quarterbacks. I knew one of them was going to, even coming into the season, coming into the draft, after the season ended, I knew one of them was going number 1. Shedeur was a top quarterback in my opinion, Cam Ward was. But So I had no problem. And when you really think about it, you had the Giants, Pittsburgh, Tennessee Titans, and maybe the Saints are the only 4 teams that needed quarterbacks. When the Saints passed on, they didn't get no quarter. I was just dumbfounded because I knew that he would not get. I just figured he wouldn't get past number 9. You know, I never thought he was going to Tennessee. That was Cam Ward the whole time. And Cleveland had Deshaun Watson. They got so much money wrapped up in Deshaun Watson. They got to make it work. So they going to ride that out until it's over, you know. I think he's got 2 or 3 more years. Then the Giants, Abdul Carter just a stud. You can't pass on Abdul Carter when you obviously don't believe in the Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart. Like, they don't believe him, so they passed on them at number 3. And they might think that was too high to take Shedeur Sanders at number 3 or Jackson Dart. But we move along, and you go down to Pittsburgh, and I'm like, Pittsburgh would be good for them. They got George Pickens, a number 1 wide receiver. They got DK Metcalf, another number 1 wide receiver. They got a Hall of Fame coach. They got a good defense and a pretty good O-line. You know, all they missing is a quarterback, you know. So I was surprised when they didn't take a quarterback. And I knew Shedeur, he that's where he wanted to go because all the reasons I named. And Mike Tomlin, he loved Shedeur, so maybe it was just a call that was made above Mike Tomlin. You know, you never know. Those things happen all the time. And Shedeur, so he's waiting, and people hating on him because he got a room created for the draft and all. So what? Like, it's his money. Whatever he want to do with, he ain't out here breaking no law. He ain't doing nothing. He created a room for the draft. It's not like he gonna just tear the room down and like never use it. So it's not like it got 2025 NFL draft like written in the walls or something like that. It's just a room he got created to have his draft party at. So what? Like, they just pick everything they say about Shedeur is off the field. Nobody's not talking about what he does on the field. They're just talking about what he does off the field. Even though his off the field behavior is great, but they just don't like the way he talk. Don't like the way he, move. Don't like the way he interview. It was if you watch Snowfall and Franklin was in the car with his homeboy, and he was like, I'm making money with him. He making a lot of money, and you think I care about the way MF talk. Like, you can't worry about those things. Like, can he play? He's not being a bad teammate to his teammates. He not disrespecting his coaches. He not doing anything. He talk. Nobody in his draft talks more than Cam Ward. And people like it. It just when you like somebody, everyone is judged off of if you like them or not. If you don't like them, then whatever they doing is gonna look bad to you. But the person that you like is doing the same thing, you ain't gonna have no problem with it. So a lot of people don't like Dion. They don't like that how confident Shedeur is. So they just puts him in a bad light when they don't have to. Like, just let his game speak for itself. And no matter where he get picked, if he go in the 3rd round, if he go in the 4th round, no matter where he get picked, he can get picked in the 5th round. People gonna still expect him to be the greatest quarterback at this draft, or he's a bust. No matter where he get drafted at, he gonna have the most pressure on him. He gonna have more pressure on him than Cam Ward will ever have. Cam Ward gonna go to Tennessee and probably gonna lose 12 games, 13 games, and they gonna expect Shedeur to go to the playoffs no matter where they go. That's just how it's gonna go. And they're gonna let Jackson Dart slide and not hold him accountable for all those pick sixes he's about to throw to the Cowboys. So I think they just being unfair to him. And life ain't fair, People always say the fair only come around once a year. So it's not for you. So I think he just got to tuck it in. He got a lot to prove, and use this as fuel. You know, don't walk around salty and thinking the world, you know, is against you. Just use it as fuel. You know, work hard, continue working hard, and prove yourself right. You don't have to prove them wrong. Just prove yourself right. You know. So back to the draft. When the draft was going on and he got to 21 and they passed on him, Pittsburgh Steelers passed on him, I was like, I didn't know. A lot of people was confused. Everybody was thought that's what Shedeur was going. So they passed on him. And then we got to pick 25. The Giants moved up. And I'm like, if the Giants don't select him here, then I know it's something. It's a coup going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, the NFL have got together and be like, we're going to humble him. We're gonna they might not necessarily humble him, they humble his father. You know, because Deion came out I say towards the end of the season and said that he didn't, that his son, it's some teams in the NFL his son won't play for, which I can understand that. You know, that's a bad look because it don't matter who, like, just go to who wants you. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know the NFL got the power to blackball you and show you that they are king, which they are. You know, they're making $15 million a year. Like they can show you, and they got all these owners that's billionaires, and most of them, I say majority of them, they don't make their money that they got from the NFL team they own. It's like a hobby for most of them, you know. So they don't really care about what Deion Sanders is talking about. And I do believe that hurt his son in the draft, you know, which is not right because it's still his son don't have nothing to do with his. Shedeur came out after his dad said that and said that he don't care where he go. You know, any team that he go to, they gonna win. He said he don't care, and he used to come into situations where teams aren't that good, and he's there to help build them up. So he don't mind going to a team that's in the top 5 draft pick. Because if you're in the top 5 draft pick, you're in the top 5, top 10 for a reason. Like, because your season, the team is not that good. So any team you go to in the top, that's you're gonna be in a rebuilding mode. And he said he used to. They went to Jackson State. They wasn't that good before he got there. And he went to Colorado. They was 1-11 before he got there, and then they brought him to where they at now. So I understood what he's saying in that moment. But you know, I think it was a mistake for Deion to say that. But he just doing what he always doing. Protect his son. And I mean, parenting is hard. Like you ain't gonna always make the right decisions at all times. You gonna make wrong decisions, and I know that's probably a moment he'd like to have back and not say those things, you know. But the part that irritated me the most was not him not getting drafted in the first round. Like him not getting drafted in the first round. Like when he got to 25, 24, and I was like, I take solace in no other quarterbacks been drafted. So that means they just passing on all the quarterbacks, you know. And but then when the Giants traded up and they took Jackson Dart, I was like, come on, man. We talking about Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart played in the SEC, which is overrated and watered down. It's top heavy. It's got 2-3 teams at the top that's really good, and the rest of them are just, they couldn't go nowhere else and win anything. If they was in any other conference, they wouldn't be considered anything, you know. But you in the SEC, you gonna automatically consider like you just like a different type of team than any other team when it's not the case. Ole Miss wasn't good. Jackson Dart only played well against teams what we call directional teams, like Northeast Oklahoma, those type teams, you know. And he played against HBCU. I think he played against Southern. Like he only good against those teams. You watch the highlight, all the games gonna be at home. All his good games gonna be at home. It's gonna be versus teams that's on either low FBS or in like D2. He just being drafted because he's in the SEC and they think he was gonna be good, but he not better than Shedeur. Like it's not even close like type better. It's not like they like close and you can go either way. He not close to Shedeur. Right? So you move up when you draft him when you probably gonna be looking for another quarterback in a couple years. And hey, I don't wish none of that on no. All of them are still kids, you know, and still try to make their way. So I hope I'm wrong about that, but I don't think I will be. But Jackson Dart, they saying he got speed and he remind you of Josh Allen. Man, he don't look nothing like Josh Allen. He's 40 times almost a 5. Like he ain't nothing like Josh Allen. Like him and Shedeur neck and neck in athleticism. You know what I'm saying? He run with a little more power than Shedeur do, just because he a little more bigger than Shedeur. But he and the thing about them comparing to Josh Allen running quarterback, now all of a sudden like a running quarterback is seen like as a good thing, you know. At first, for the longest, for 50, 60 years, it was considered, it was a negative against running quarterbacks. Then Josh Allen come around, and then now all of a sudden it's a great thing. So I want to see where he goes in this day 2 of the draft. You know, I'm pretty sure he'll go one of these rounds, second or third of day 2. I don't see him getting to day 3. If he get to day 3, then some of the stuff is gonna be undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Some of them takes that all these people making about they don't have it out for him, all that, it's gonna be undeniable, and you don't have to walk some of those takes back. Like him getting out of the first round is not egregious. Only thing is just no way Jackson Dart should have went ahead of him. If neither one of them got drafted in the first round, I'd be like, all right, I can see that, because when you got down there, none of them needed a quarterback, and there's no reason for the Browns or any of them to trade up when they at the top of the draft in the second round. So I would understood that, but when they Giants traded them and took Jackson Dart, it just threw my whole thought process off. So we'll see where he goes in the second round, and hopefully he just proves them all wrong, and he do his big one, you know. I think he's gonna go to a team with an established quarterback already, and he just gonna learn and take a couple years, and you know, by the time he's ready, the team feel he's ready to step up. All this will be behind him. Like ain't nobody gonna be thinking about where he was drafted. They just gonna be thinking about, can you win? You know, once you get in it, once you become a starter and all the time, where you drafted is no longer. Dak Prescott is an example of that. He was drafted in the 4th round. Nobody seen him. Everybody thought he was gonna be a project and gonna take time. You know, it would take a while for him to develop and all that. And he was thrown in there his first year and as a rookie, you know, in the rest of history. But nobody was like, oh, he's a 4th round quarterback when he messed up. They ain't gonna think about it. They ain't gonna think, oh, Shedeur was passed on when he threw the interception, but because he was passed on, they ain't gonna think about that. Like we don't care about that, you know what I'm saying? So wherever he's drafted, I think they're gonna get a hungry player with a chip on his shoulder, and if he anything like his daddy, if he built like anything like his daddy, then he'll come out on the other side of this. So it's nothing to be ashamed of dropping out. They gonna try to shame him for dropping out the first round, but it's nothing. If he dropped in the 2nd, 3rd, or any round, like it's still a accomplishment to get drafted in the NFL. It's only 252 or 53 players that's drafted, you know. So that's an accomplishment within itself. So once you check that box off, you got drafted. Okay, no matter where you got drafted, you didn't get drafted where you wanted to. Then it's time to move on and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think he will do that. I was disappointed in that Jackson that Jackson Dart pick. It just was too much. It was just, as soon as they traded up, I was like, yeah, if you don't drive the fixes in, you know. And when I say the fixes in, that just mean like they done got together and be like, nobody takes Shedeur in the first round, man. Trying to teach him a lesson. But you know, when you playing other people's league, you just got to make that choice if you're gonna be yourself or if you're gonna conform to what they want you to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a fight any player that's coming in the league gotta fight. Like, what are you gonna do? Cam Ward, he ain't had the greatest of pass, you know what I'm saying? So, but he came in buttoned up, no chains on. And that's another thing. Everybody talk about these chains and all that. That stuff that's ignorant. Like, what chains he got on, it don't matter. Every draft pick you seen come up to the stage, they had the biggest chain. They had a chain on bigger than my back. And nobody ever said anything. Nobody ever called him flash. Nobody ever called him arrogant. None of that. Like, okay, he wear a chain. That's just what they do these days. Everybody got a chain on. It's just a culture that we live in. It's a black culture. That's just the thing to do. So holding against one kid and not the other one, like that, it makes zero sense to me. Cause he got chains on. You don't like the way he talk. You don't like the way he interview. He too confident. He too cocky. Like that. That's just projection, man. That's just that's insecurity of how you self. You see a guy that love himself and is overly confident in himself, and it threatens you. You know, it threatens your insecurities, and it triggers your insecurities where you don't feel like you should be around this person. This person is too confident. This person love himself too much for me to be around, because he gonna make me feel less than just by him loving himself. And that's a you problem. That's not a Shedeur problem. Shedeur loving himself and Shedeur believing himself and saying what he's gonna do when he get in the field. First of all, he ain't the first person to do that. He won't be the last. So him believing in himself, if that threatens you and that triggers your insecurities, then that's you problem. You gotta go fix that yourself, Shedeur. That ain't Shedeur's fault. That ain't his problem. He can't worry about how you feel because of how he feel about himself. He can't nobody. That goes for anybody in this world. Like, always be yourself. If people that don't like yourself, then they just don't like yourself. But they ain't gonna be able to stop it. They ain't gonna stop the way. They can't stop what God got for you just because they don't like how you carry yourself. You know, I run a youth organization, the Kaufman County Cowboys, and we celebrate our children that's in the program, our youth, and it rubs people the wrong way. We're not being disrespectful to nobody, but the way you carry yourself is gonna rub people the wrong way because they are insecure. When you are insecure, you want everybody to be insecure also. So by me saying how great I am or how great my team is or how great my kids are, a person that's insecure that's listening to that, they're gonna take that as a negative. Because I don't know, because probably they wasn't loved when they was a child. I don't know what it is, but you can't let nobody stop you and make you feel less than because they are. You know, and I ain't come here to preach nothing, but I feel like wherever Shedeur go, he gonna be good, and he gonna prove himself right, you know. So we'll see, man. We'll get back to it after all the drafts, all the picks been chosen and all the players been chosen, and we'll go through it and see what my Cowboys did after they done, you know. And I like Booker. I like that draft pick, man. We need to get back to the glory day, but this ain't about the Cowboys. We'll get back into the draft. If this your first time, if this your first time or your last time listening, I appreciate you. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Everybody enjoy the weekend. Thank you.